Hi, it's Adam Drummond here from wagawagga.tv. It's the online TV show about people, places and property. And today I'm at Relationships Australia, and with me is Relationships Australia Branch Manager for Riverina, Bernadette Post. Bernadette, thanks for being on the show.
Oh, it's my pleasure, Adam. It's great to be here.
Now, one of the things we're talking about today, or the thing that we're talking about today, and I love having special days for the community. We've got quite a few out there, but this one some people may not have heard of. It's called Neighbour Day. Why don't you tell me a little bit about the history of Neighbour Day?
Neighbour Day, you're right, Adam. You know, a lot of people may not have heard about Neighbour Day, but it's actually been going for the last 10 years. And it started as a result of a woman named Elsie Brown who lived in Melbourne, and she died in her apartment, and nobody knew about that for 2 years. And Andrew Heslop was just a member of the community, I guess, and he thought that was very tragic, really, that someone within our community could have remained, you know, unnoticed, and apparently mail was piling up at her door, and no one actually did anything to find that out for 2 whole years. So Andrew had a particular, I guess, a spark. You know, everyone was affected by that, but I think he in particular did something about it. And that led to him initiating a Neighbour Day. I think he did a media release in Melbourne, and it started to take off, where there was a day of the year where we could all be mindful of our neighbours. And there's a 10-year history now to it, and Andrew has taken that message internationally as well. And I just think it's a fantastic message for us to think about our neighbours and our communities, and more broadly than that, you know, really thinking about those that may be lonely and vulnerable, and how can we touch base with people. I mean, we've seen lots of examples in disasters, you know, where people really pull together. So that spirit, I wish, you know, I guess Neighbour Day is about trying to get more of that spirit.
And one of the things that I was fascinated by is some research has been done, and apparently the better you get along with your neighbours, the healthier you are as well. So that's an interesting little stat and experiment that I think they found in Sweden, which is interesting. Now, tell us about, how did Relationships Australia Riverina get involved, and why did you get involved?
Okay, well, Neighbour Day and the philosophy behind it really fits with our mission and our strategic plan, I guess, and you know, healthy relationships, healthy families, and as you say, the research, there's quite a bit of research out there that supports healthy relationships mean that and better connected with our community means we're healthier, you know, physically and mentally. So Andrew found the job of trying to highlight Neighbour Day and get that message out there as a pretty big job, as you can imagine. So he put out an expression of interest for organisations to take on board that message and be the home of Neighbour Day, if you like. And Relationships Australia nationally have been successful in that bid, and we're working really closely with Andrew to make sure that we keep the spirit alive in the way that he envisaged from the beginning.
And it's not just about your next door neighbour, is it? It's about the entire community. There is a website that people can go to, which you should check out, because there's a couple of competitions on there as well that we should mention. Tell us a little bit about the competitions and why people should visit the website.
Absolutely. There's a competition about good neighbour stories, and there's been some amazing stories coming in about either being someone who a neighbour or someone in the community has helped, or doing something for another neighbour. And so you can enter that good neighbour story on the website, and there are prizes for the best entries. And yeah.
And there's also Neighbour Day is Sunday coming up. So it's the last Sunday of March each year, as I understand it. And this is where you get a chance to talk to your neighbours. And one of the things that comes up in conversation is there's quite often people from out of town that come to places like Wagga Wagga, and it's a bit hard to fit in because there's cliques and there's relationships always here. But what a great day to invite people in your neighbourhood that are maybe coming from a metropolitan or another area, to welcome them into Wagga and show them that we're all friendly and we're all approachable.
Absolutely. And I think our Mayor, Rod Kendall, has led the charge in that. We had an event out at his home where he had morning tea with his neighbour, and that neighbour had moved from another country, only a few months ago, and, they were really talking about how Rod and Robin have really welcomed them to the area, and how hard it is when you do come to a new place.
Yeah, and the other thing is, of course, if you do have elderly people out there that live not far from you, it's always worth going and checking on them. As we can see from Elsie Brown's situation about 10 or 11 years ago, you just can't have that sort of thing happen in communities anymore. So check on your neighbours, particularly if you know that they're elderly or vulnerable, and welcome people into the house. Have a barbecue. This Sunday is Neighbour Day. We're going to put the website on the screen for you. You can also go, extra work for Grant, but he'll do it. And there's also a Facebook page where you can get more information. But this is something that Relationships Australia have taken over and they're running with it. It's here in Wagga Wagga and there's plenty of information available. I'd like to thank Bernadette for being on the show, and let's encourage everyone to get into Neighbour Day.
Absolutely. Thanks, Adam.
Thanks, Bernadette. This is Adam Drummond from WaggaWagga.tv. It's the online TV show about people, places and property. This one's brought to you from Grant Harper at Livestream Australia and Wagga Wagga Web, and I'll see you next time.